Hello there again. My name is dreweast, and today I'm going to be testing for the fourth GUP. The color that represents the fourth GUP is the blue belt. The color blue represents the color of the sky, reaching up higher for knowledge. Alright, now I'm going to review some different things we went over in the last GUP. One of the first things we went over was having a wider base, the importance of that, and how the narrower our base is, the less power we have and the less balance, yet the wider it is, the better balance, the better power we have. We also went over the hammer strike, went over the front hammer strike, we went over like a hammer strike to the groin. We also went over the spear hand. We went over the pseudo block. We also went over some one steps. One of the one steps we went over was outside to inside block. And then we also went over a number of different ones. I don't know if I'll have time to get to them today, so I'm just going to go over one other of the inventive ones that I came up with, which was stepping to the outside, blocking, punching the ribs, stomach, stepping in, elbowing the face, and spin kicking. So I'll do that a little faster. Right there, and let's see here, self-defense. We went over some self-defense. If someone came up and grabbed our shirt, we would distract them with something and then grab their wrist. So my distraction was going to be a palm heel to the face, palm heel, come over their wrist right here and help with the other hand. Bring the wrist over, put pressure on the wrist, chop the elbow, bring them down, making sure we're staying vertical here. If we want to, if we need to really, we can break the arm, and so the next one was if someone comes and chokes us, and what we were told to do is put our hands in between their arms and push them out, and I thought that was a great defense. But as we push them out, our instructors told us we could kind of do whatever we wanted from there, and I thought it would be good as I was pushing them out to kick the groin, elbow the face, and then back out, and I could really be in a more defensible position. So those are some of the things we went over in the last GUP. Alright, going over some new moves we learned in this GUP. The first one was from a pierce hand. We would pierce hand, and if someone caught our wrist, we can turn it, put it in our back right here, and as they lose their grip, as we turn, and we strike back fist right there. And so, which really, it looked like he was hitting with more of this part of the fist, so it wasn't a back fist, it was a, I don't know what that is, but more of a hammer, I guess. The second one was something we're doing in our form this GUP, and that's from a kick. So as we kick and hop, back fist, and so that was two of the moves we learned in this GUP. Alright, the form we learned in this GUP is called Teguk Ocham, and that means wind. I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. to learn a lot as far as kicks go in this GUP. And so first we started off with reviewing the square stance side kick. So I just wanted to go over that again. With the square stance took a lot more balance when you're side kicking. But we're in our square stance. We come up, side kick, go back to our other side square stance, come up, side kick, go back to the other side, and it almost became a drill. Next we learned different combos of kicks. And one of the things he showed us is if someone's coming after us, you know, someone's pursuing us, we don't have much time to react, so we drop kick really fast, slow them down, and possibly side kick, roundhouse, kick them, and buy some more time so we can get in our fighting stance. But again, that's a drop kick to a roundhouse, and then possibly back into a fighting stance. And so that was one of the combos he showed. He told us to work on different combos between different kicks. Just from here, possibly a front kick, side kick, roundhouse, possibly a roundhouse, front kick, possibly a side kick, front kick, roundhouse. So there's a couple different combos right there. Also, he taught us the switch foot kick, which is from the side, and if we're going to gain a little space on our opponent, that we would switch our feet, shuffling my feet. I feel like I gain ground and power that way. So anyways, that was a switch foot kick. Definitely gained some momentum, some power. It's a good kick. Alright, now for the drill we learned in this GUP. We learned a drill that has to do with the form we're doing. And we learned to high block, step in high block, kick, and then elbow, strike. Our instructor taught us to do it from the same side, high block, kick, and elbow strike. But we do it the opposite in the form, so I'm guessing you guys want us to do the opposite. So once again, step in, high block, kick, elbow strike. So that's the drill. Alright, now for one steps that we learned in this GUP. The first one was from the fighting position right here. He shuffle kicked, kick to the side, inside to outside, or outside to inside block, and then back fist to the face. So it was more like this. Then the next one he did was a high block. Someone's hitting me with their right arm, and coming across here, high blocking, grabbing the wrist as I rotate and come across the arm, pulling them down. He kicked him in the stomach, and then he backed out into a fighting position once again. So a little faster. All right, and so the last one was our instructor actually blocked with a kick. Honestly, with me, I don't know how practical that would be, but I want to show it just to be thorough. So he was here. He blocked with a kick, and then he kicked the growing, and then he came up to the face with an elbow. So once again, block the kick. Alright, so those are the one steps we learned. Alright, the inventive one steps for me. This is always the funnest part for me. So the first one is to block. You start out the same way you did in the block and the self-defense portion. So it's a double block, grabbing the wrist with this hand, blocking with this hand, and Then I'm going to switch, grab the wrist, much like I did in the other one. But in this one, I'm going to step in, I'm going to back fist, elbow to the ribs, then I'm going to step through where his feet aren't. I'm going to come under the shoulder with this hand, and I'm going to throw him. So it looks something like this. And so what I'm doing there is I'm stepping under this portion and throwing him that way, just in case that wasn't clear. So in the next one, I'm going to fake a punch and front kick, and then I'm going to elbow front, back, and roundhouse. Alright, so from the fighting position, coming back into the fighting position from there. So those are the 1 steps for this GUP. Alright, the self-defense for this GUP, I thought it was great. I'm excited to show my wife this particular move. But if someone grabs your hair, you would put both hands on top of their hand, and you would come down, making sure that back foot that you're going to kick with later is back. You would come down, and the point is to make their wrist bend in a way that it doesn't want to bend. And so you come down to the ground, and as soon as they let go, or you break their wrist, you let go, and you kick them in the face. And so I thought that was awesome. The next one we learned was if someone punches us, and he emphasized that they would be possibly a big person that we would want to block with 2 hands. If they punch us, we step in. It's an inside to outside block, which we also block with our other hand. So it's here. And then as we adjust in the move, we grab the wrist with this hand, readjust, grab the bicep or shoulder area with this hand, step in just outside their back leg, and we pull them over. So it's more like this. And I guess that would be more of how it would look. So there are the self-defense moves we learned in this guy.